Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. As you know, every Thursday I come live for our lunchtime conversation for Safe Space Conversations. And today on Safe Space Conversations, we are talking all about how to find your inner strength. And this conversation is specifically for women because that is who I serve. And so, as women, we're labeled strong. People may comment about how strong we are in our careers, that we balance so much, that we manage stress so well, that we just pull up our big girl panties and get it done. But because we're strong, does that mean that we have inner strength? Because there is a difference between being strong and having inner strength. Sometimes when people talk about, especially for Black women, being strong, it's not necessarily a positive thing. Oftentimes we believe that we don't have a choice. And so we just rely on grit and do what needs to be done. And that's why in today's conversation, I'd like to share a few tips with you about how to build your inner strength. After coaching women for well over 20 years, I am well aware of the fact that many of us feel like the situations we deal with or that we face in our lives are isolated to us, when in fact they are common among us. In reality, not very many women share their stories. A lot of us hide our stories away, and it could be for a number of reasons. It could be because we are very private individuals. It could be because there is shame associated with decisions that we may have made in the past. It could be because of fear of judgment. But whatever it is, because so many of us do not share our stories, other women often feel as if whatever they are going through is isolated to them. And it is my mission in life to help women recognize and realize that whatever they're facing is not just isolated to them. They may be going through that experience. However, there are other women who have gone through a similar experience and have come out of that experience successfully. That's why I'm passionate about the Evolving Woman magazine, because in the Evolving Woman magazine, we share stories of women who have gone through and come through so that other women in the world can read their stories and find inspiration. In just a few days, we will be publishing the spring edition of the Evolving Woman, and I hope that you grab it. But let's get into today's conversation. As we have this conversation, though, if there is anything at all that resonates with you along this 20 to 30-minute conversation, please use the comment field. Let's deepen this conversation. I'd love to hear your feedback, your comments, your suggestions, your viewpoint on this matter. Hey there, Billy. It's so nice to see you today. Hi, Neela, sis. Hi, I'm so happy to see you as well today. Let's get into today's conversation. Now, in a world where women are still very much facing discrimination, we face gender bias and inequality, it is more important for women to find their inner strength. Not just to find their inner strength, though, but to empower themselves. The word empowerment has become such a cliche word in the coaching community. However, self empowerment is something that is necessary for every woman to embrace. Now, I'll be real and share that it's not always easy to navigate the challenges that comes with being a woman. A woman in today's society, we are judged for having a career. We're judged for not having a career. We're judged for wanting to advance the corporate ladder. We're judged for not wanting to advance the corporate ladder. We're judged for sacrificing our families to pursue our careers. We're judged for not doing enough to pursue our careers. We're judged that we're not home pregnant and barefoot having babies. And then we're judged because we're in the world working, pursuing our dreams and our goals. And sometimes it could just feel like there is no win. But today I want to share with you that by tapping into our inner power, we can overcome obstacles and achieve our goals while standing firm on the foundation of who we are, regardless of the judgment that comes from external sources. And so empowering women today is undoubtedly a necessity in the world that we live in. And I'd like to know your opinion. So drop in the comments for me, please, and let me know what your thoughts are about women's empowerment. Now, whether you're struggling with self doubt or dealing with any type of difficult situation at work or even in your personal life, or perhaps you may just be feeling overwhelmed by the demands of life. Because, come on, as a woman, there are so many demands that are placed upon us. We are wives, we are mothers, we are daughters, we are aunts, we have social lives, we have civic responsibilities, we volunteer. Like there is so much that we try to balance that it is easy to become overwhelmed by the demands of life. However, I want to share with you today that there are steps that we can take to find inner strength, be more empowered, and do the things that really bring us happiness and bring us joy. And so today, the practical tips that I'm sharing for empowering women and tapping into our inner strength are all strategies designed to help build self confidence, develop a positive mindset, and setting boundaries that help us to prioritize our own needs and goals. Now, you know, all this year on LinkedIn, on my social platforms, whether that's Instagram or Facebook, I've been advocating for self care, for women to recognize that self care is non negotiable and that self care is actually a success secret. And so today we'll look more at that, but we'll also be looking at how to cultivate supportive relationships with other women and allies that can help us on our journey toward empowerment. When we are looking to live our greatest, best life from the perspective of fulfilling our purpose, collaboration is a great way to do that. However, collaboration requires that we are in alignment with the people that we are entering partnerships with, not just grabbing any opportunity, but inspecting the opportunity to make sure that it is a fit for who you are, what you represent, and what your brand is all about. And as we focus on our personal growth and development, we can not just improve our own lives, but we can inspire other people to do the same. There is this big debate on LinkedIn about whether there should be social posts or if there should just be professional posts. However, as a professional woman, there are many aspects to who I am personally. I am in my career, but in my career, there is still the emotional, spiritual, mental parts of me that show up at my work every day. And I believe that it is important that we speak to those parts of us as career women as well. And LinkedIn is an ideal platform for us to share so that other people can see as we pursue our dreams and goals that we are human beings. We show up in our humanity and in our human state. And so I'm going to give you some insights and advice that I hope can empower you as a woman. The first thing I'd like to, hey there, Precious. It's really so nice to see you. Thanks for hanging out here with me for a few minutes. And so, the first thing I'd like to encourage you to do as a woman in the corporate world or as a woman in general, because this is Women's Month, the first tip for finding your inner strength that I'd like to share with you is that you have to identify your values and your priorities. That's one of the first steps. We have to know what our values are because every other thing in our lives, whether that's our work, whether that's our personal lives, whether those are the commitments we make to civic organizations or volunteer organizations must be in alignment with the values that we have established for ourselves. And so, what are your values? What do you stand for? What matters most to you? Because by answering some of those questions, you can begin to clearly develop a sense of direction and purpose that can guide you as you navigate the challenges of life. You can even use those questions as a way to prompt your journaling or meditation or visualization to identify what your true values are and your priorities. I can tell you it's really easy to slip into being a chameleon. And a chameleon is like walking into the environment and giving the environment what the environment dictates. However, finding your inner strength will give you the courage to walk into an environment and give the environment what it needs versus what's already on display for you. That's how you stand out. That's how you show your uniqueness, your individualism, your creativity by not necessarily fitting in, but by standing up in your authentic self. People are craving authentic connections. And so if you show up pretending to be something or someone that you're not, you're losing the valuable opportunity to connect on a more fulfilling level with other people. So the first tip is to identify your values and your priorities. The second tip that I'd like to share with you today is that you must build resilience and authority. Now, when I talk about resilience, I'm not talking about the strong Black woman. I'm not just talking about the strong woman, because the negative connotations that come with that are that we do what we have to do, whether we want to do it or not, that we keep getting a lick and we just keep on ticking like the battery. No, that's not what I'm talking about. Life is full of ups and downs. That is true. And resilience is indeed the key to navigating these challenges that we're going to face in life. However, when we know what our values are, we can then begin to step in authority and become more resilient as it relates to saying no when it's necessary, for declining opportunities that do not align with who we are, for declining jobs and roles that do not align with truly who we are and what we want to do. Being strong means that you have a willingness to stand up for your true self, your true desires, and to make an impact in the world in the way that you know you've been purposed to do. This really requires that we reframe our negative self talk. We are our hardest critic. And if we just take the opportunity to sit down and see all of the things that we do as women, all of the things that we balance, how we show up in our careers, how we help our team members, how we contribute to a positive work environment, how we inspire and motivate other people, how we help our husbands, how we help our partners, how we nurture our children. There's so much good that we do. We need to pay more attention and begin to be positive towards ourselves and have more positive self talk. We must, under being resilient and also under authority, continue to develop a growth mindset. It means that we are on a continuous journey of growing, because when we know better, we can do better. Inner strength means that we're learning from our mistakes and we're taking different actions, making different decisions so that we don't stay on this cycle of doing the same thing over and over and over again. It is also about practicing self care, because self care is understanding when you're really too tired to do anything else and you need to rest and recuperate, because your no protects your yes. So saying no to opportunities that will place you in overwhelm, that you're not skilled for, that you're not ready to embrace, is a form of self-care. Self-care is also about carving out time for yourself. And you may be saying, Miss Duquesa or Coach Dean, all of the things that I have to do, I don't have time. Well, you can carve out 10 minutes. You can carve out 15 minutes just for yourself to breathe and begin to build from there. So even if your life is busy, I want to encourage you to take some time out to focus on you, because this can help you power up your authority. And by doing so, you can now do wonders. You can even decide that you want to get professional help in your life from a therapist or a coach or a mentor, so that they can help guide you in building your authority and in your resilience. There is absolutely nothing wrong with having a life coach in your life. The third tip I have for you today is to develop your self confidence and assertiveness. And I want you to type it in chat for me because it is so important. Self esteem is the number one determining factor for success. This is based on John Maxwell's principles. Self confidence is that thing that makes you walk into the room and give it something special. Self confidence is that thing that says, I know that I'm really good at what I do, but you rein that in so that it isn't crossover into ego and thinking that you're better than anybody else. Self confidence means that you know you can deliver, that you have the skill sets, the attitude, and the aptitude, that you have your own secret sauce, that you bring to any work environment, but it doesn't make you better than someone else. And assertiveness means that you're willing to ask questions. You're willing to speak up in the boardroom. You're willing to make suggestions. You're willing, whether they use those suggestions or not, are irrelevant. The important thing is that your voice is being heard and your voice has so much value. So, self confidence and assertiveness are two essential traits that are crucial for success, and not just in the corporate world, but also in our personal lives. By developing these traits, we can help to build positive self image. When we love ourselves, it shows. People can pick up a fake easily. When we love ourselves, we exude confidence. When we embrace all of who we are at the stage that we are at, we just look different. We walk different. We sound different. And people are able to say and see our authenticity. And so, self confidence allows us to enhance our communication skills and create real healthy relationships with others. Confidence allows us to give a voice to other people, to hear their input, to get their suggestions, and understand that other people are smart in the world just like we are. And that diversity is what will help us to all elevate. And so, if you want to unlock one of the self empowerment goals, you have to unlock the key of self confidence. Because when you begin to become more and more confident in who you are, you will refuse to allow any obstacle to get in your way, or you will refuse to allow the judgment of other people to pull you down because you are so grounded in who you are, what you deliver, and what you are about that external voices do not shackle you. Self confidence will keep you free and unstuck. The next tip, which I think is the fourth one that I'd like to share with you today, is that you have to have big, gorgeous goals in order to discover that inner strength. You have to be able to stretch yourself. And when I talk about goals, one of the things that I love to talk about is that on average, we live 60, 70, 80 years on this earth, but we play it small by creating 1 year goals. And if those goals aren't anchored to something larger, what are we really working toward? So make sure that your goal is gorgeous, it is massive, it is a 10-year, 20-year goal that you're working really hard to achieve. And then breaking that goal down, year one, year two, year three, so that you're anchored. And when your goals are anchored to something larger, resilience is easier to develop because you know you can learn the lesson to keep you on trajectory to achieving that larger goal. And so don't settle for less by creating these small goals. Create your big goal and then break them into micro goals that you can accomplish. Because this is a key aspect of your personal growth and development, of empowering yourself. And so, if you want to learn what type of goals will define your life, what's your X factor, what's your why in life, then check out some of the world's leadership gurus or some of these amazing YouTube channels like mine, plug, to learn all about how to use goals to give your life purpose and to build your inner strength that can help you take your life to new heights, to give you better clarity, excitement, and happiness. Now, the last tip I want to share with you today is the tip of building great relationships and building meaningful relationships. Hey there, Aya. Yes, girl, we got to rock it in our gifting. It's great to be in my element. We have to show up, show our gifting and our talent, and inspire and encourage other people as well. Yes, I jump up and down when she's speaking. Oh, thank you so much, Neela. Well, we're wrapping up. I won't keep you long today. Thank you guys so much for your kindness. Our last tip today is be building meaningful relationships because this is so important for empowering women. There is this taboo-ness out there in the world that women can't get along. And I disagree with that. I disagree with the fact that women can't get along. Now, I acknowledge that there are times when groups of women do not gel cohesively. And I will dare say it's because they're not in alignment. If you find a group of women that have similar values, who are movers and shakers, who are goal oriented, who are open to correction, who will be your cheerleader, who give and take, then you're going to be able to develop a cohesive group of people. Your inner circle has to be a group of women who are giving to you as much as you're giving to them. Women who have strong networks of supportive relationships are more likely to develop higher levels of self confidence because they know they have cheerleaders in their lives. They know they have accountability partners. They know if they fall down, they have someone who's going to help pick them up. Their esteem is built because they have this super support system. And that's why I believe in community. To achieve our personal and professional goals, we need to become aligned with other women who share the same values. We often have conflict when we are in misalignment. So, as you're building meaningful relationships, I want to encourage you to think about what you want from your community. Because whatever you want for your community, you have to show up and give. The law of magnetism states that who we are is who we will attract. And so, if we want better quality people in our lives, it's a no brainer that we have to become better people. We have to know what our values are so that we can then attract people with those same sorts of value. Then we can find community and belonging. We can find mentors and role models in other women who are 20, 30 years ahead of us, who are not threatened by our talent, who are not concerned about whether we have come to take over, who are actually excited about pouring into us and building the future. Meaningful relationships are important for building inner strength. Cultivating relationships with other women can also help to break down barriers. It can help to foster a sense of solidarity and also help to give mutual support. Meaningful relationships can create powerful networks of allies who can help you with decision making, overcoming obstacles, knocking down closed doors, knocking down brick walls, and helping us to achieve our dreams and our goals. I will dare say to you today that your inner circle should be composed of women who have influence and spurs that you don't, who have access to opportunities that you don't, because your relationship with them is going to open doors for you as their relationship for you is going to open doors for them. That's why I'm passionate about the Evolving Woman magazine. I know that by sharing the stories of the amazing women who talk about their victories, who talk about their losses, who talk about their successes, I give meaningful content and inspiration to the world and help to build a community. And by helping them, I help myself. It's just like a no brainer. I don't understand why we are not more collaborative in nature as women. As I close out today's live, I want to share that empowering women is more about just achieving success and reaching our goals, though. It's about really finding meaning and purpose in our lives. Because when we live a purpose driven life, when we get up every morning with enthusiasm, when we get up every morning knowing that we're adding value to the world, it just makes life so much different. A routine living is boring and mundane, and you get depressed and weighed down. But when you have that purposeful living, it's like a flame is ignited inside of you. And when your flame is ignited and you rub another person, your flame drops into them. That's why we have to stand up in our gifting. That's why we can't play small. That's why we have to build our inner strength because we are the light of the world. And we must share our light with other people and make a positive impact on the world around us. So identify your values and priorities. Build resilience and self confidence. Set and go about achieving your goals. Build meaningful relationships because we can create a life that is both fulfilling and empowering. We can develop inner strength, and inner strength is different from the strong woman. Inner strength is living with purpose, with value, understanding who you are and how you make a difference in the world. And with the support of your inner circle, you can accomplish so much more than you even think or desire. Now, I'm going to share a resource with you in the comments. It's somewhat of a script that I've been using for our conversation today. You can go over to the blog, take a look at what the blog is sharing, get as much information as you can. Share the blog if you want to inspire other women, because it is my ultimate goal every single Thursday to come on this platform and help women understand that they are more than their titles, that they bring so much value to this world, that they get to choose what success means to them, that they get to honor who they are, and that they can build a firm, strong foundation that will make them dominate in any way that they want to. And I just want to thank you so much for spending the last 25, 26 minutes with me in this conversation. If any one of the tips that I shared with you today resonate with you, do me a favor and drop it in the comments and let me know which one tip resonated with you most and which one tip you are going to take action on. Because in reality, faith without works is dead, and getting information without taking action brings no different result. We have to listen, learn, take action to grow and to succeed. Bless you. Thank you for being here and have a great day. Bye, everyone.